What would you do if your very existence was considered a threat, a nuisance? Would you choose peace or power? During the Civil Rights Movement, Black Americans such as myself rose up against centuries of oppression. But even in this fight for justice, there were different ideas on how to win this freedom. Two of the most powerful voices of this movement were Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. They stood on opposite ends of a divided strategy. One, King preaching nonviolence, while Malcolm X spoke for inside out power by any means necessary. Dr. King's belief in nonviolent resistance was shaped by his Christian values as a Christian pastor and the teachings of a prevalent nonviolent protester, Mahatma Gandhi. King believed that love and peaceful protest could move the hearts of Americans and change the law. This vision helped spark key victories like the Montgomery bus boycott in 1955 and the March on Washington in 1963. His leadership helped pass the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, some of the most important Civil Rights Act laws in American history. King wasn't alone, however. He worked closely with people like Bayard Rustin, who helped organize the March on Washington, and John Lewis, a young leader and supporter of King who led peaceful sit-ins and freedom rides together. They showed the nation the power of courage without any violence. But not everyone believed peace was enough. Malcolm X, a minister with the Nation of Islam, spoke directly to the anger and pain of Black Americans all across the United States, who were tired of waiting for justice. He believed in self-defense and Black pride. His message was that African Americans were brought here against our will. Why should we suffer? Why should we continue to let ourselves be parodied and harassed by the white Americans that had stolen us from our land? Malcolm X called for Black people to separate from white society and build their own strength economically and socially. He criticized peaceful protest as too slow and too soft in the face of brutal racism. Too many. His voice was bold, honest, and necessary. However, later in life, Malcolm X's views began to shift. After leaving the Nation of Islam and visiting Mecca, the holiest place in all of Islam, he began to believe in building unity across all races without giving up on Black empowerment. After his assassination in 1965, his ideas continued to grow through the Black Power movement and groups like the Black Panther Party, who believed in self-defense and serving their Black communities. Although Dr. King and Malcolm X were different in tone and different of means, their missions were connected. King brought moral urgency and national attention to civil rights, while Malcolm gave voice to pride, power, and resistance. Together, they shaped how America remembers the fight for equality. And they were essentially the commanders and generals and lieutenants of the American war on racism, the defeat of a racial infrastructure of American society. Understanding these two leaders helps us understand the civil rights movement as a whole. It's not just a story of good versus bad or peace versus violence. It's a story of struggle, strategy, and the power of belief in something better, a core American value of fighting for what's right.